What's going on, guys? This is gonna be a bit different of a video from my usual vlog style things. Kind of wanted to talk to you guys about a cool tool that I've been able to use, and I think that's kind of really progressed my driving style. That's gonna be this guy right here, this entire sim setup. So let's break it down. Your sim for drifting is kind of as continues here, right? So obviously we have our cockpit, your seat, your stand, and everything. So I've got a Logitech G920 wheel on this with a Logitech matching shifter, some Amazon handbrake, and also have the Logitech pedals down there on the bottom. I think all in it was roughly, I want to say like $850-ish or something like that. So not the cheapest thing in the world, but there's a lot more expensive ways to go about it. So I run this off of a PC right here, so I do have that, which gives me the access to a lot more games, mods, things of that nature. So by no means am I super tech savvy or a great drifter, or even really know the whole technical side of things. So if that kind of sounds like you, and you also have no idea in the technical aspects of things, this might be something more towards you, because I just want to go out and I want to drive. I like to work on cars, but as far as looking at your technical specs on computers and shit like that, I can't do it, so it's not for me. So I wanted something that's kind of just gonna work, and this kind of has fought me a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. The Logitech wheel has been, it was cheap, a cheap way to get into it, which was good. Looking into the cons real quick. Looking into the cons, the sim setup in my eyes, you do need to spend a good amount of money for a solid like direct drive setup that's gonna translate 100% to real life. Obviously it's not gonna be 100%, but you get the point. So certain things, obviously with this setup, aren't gonna be 100% realistic either. So like for example, something that's, I've developed a bad habit by using this wheel because it doesn't like to self-steer nicely, so I have to kind of throw it. So that leads me to cross my hands and do some kind of not great things in real life. So that's something I do need to work on, and hopefully I'll be able to break that habit working in real life and paying a little bit more attention to it in my mind. But obviously there's a lot of pros and there's a lot of reasons why people do like to use the sim. So some of these pros. Number one, seat time. Everyone loves to drift, right? Nothing's more fun than getting to spend a whole bunch of day at the track getting to drive. Thing is, that's expensive. Not everybody has that constant flow of money to go to the track, or even the time. You know, going to the track takes a bunch of prep work. You're obviously then takes the entire day at the track. Hell, it might take several days, depending on what you're doing. So it can be a relatively cheap option to get into, so you can keep driving, but obviously there's going to be some differences. You know, you aren't going to get the full translation, you're not there in that environment, but you're also not going to be buying oil or tires. You know, you're going to buy the sim once, maybe you'll buy some games or some mods, but that'll kind of be it. It'll be on the cheaper end after you buy the initial tool. So you can obviously play anytime, which is super good, super cool, so that's the option there. And overall, you know, judging off of the sim, I think it does translate to real life. So like I said, I'm not no professional drifter, professional tech guy or anything like that, but I feel that I've definitely been able to learn as a driver through this. Even just looking back to my first ever event I went to at Lebanon here in New York, my like third lap I was able to link most of the entire course. I think part of that definitely translated from the sim, having that confidence and kind of the knowing what to do relatively. Granted, like I said, it's not a full swap as far as everything goes, but I think definitely overall it's definitely gotten to help me, and I know I have some other people that can attest to that too, because we've all kind of talked about it. So it's definitely super cool to have this option of things to do to keep working on seat time. I know I've gotten to run some tandems on our Lock City server my buddy runs. I'll insert a few of those clips throughout this entire thing, I'm sure. So we've got that. But so that's just been super cool to get out and get to do that seat time so we can keep on driving. So I mean, if you guys are, you know, looking to get a sim, even looking at the Logitech route, it's gonna be one of your cheapest options, so you can go that way. I'm sure someone out there has the settings fully dialed and fully figured out, and I haven't come across it yet. Maybe, I'm sure there's people out there that have it running better than me who can give a much better review than I can. But either way, I mean, it's a lot of fun. It's something to do, something pretty cool, and you can get that cheap seat time, so you can keep on driving and then look to drive more with the homies type of thing. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little video kind of going off my thoughts. Obviously it's super different. It's not exactly something I usually would do, but I had to I was looking for a video idea, and I was like, you know what, this is something I kind of was wondering about before I kind of got into the sim, is how it would translate. So obviously, you know, overall it does translate, but much like everything else, there's going to be pros and cons, so be it. And stay tuned. Hopefully next week I'm going to have, the next video I'm planning on having is going to do around the M3. So stick tuned for that. You're going to hear some real cool noises coming out of that car. So, alright guys, have a good one. I'll see you in the next one.